Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand, and we're back with another head-to-head. Really enjoying these, and you know what it is today. You can see it's on my left. It's also the battle of the hoodies. Is it Cavani or is it Ronaldo? It's Cavani versus Ronaldo in our head-to-head today, and I think, look, football just changes all the time, doesn't it? You know, from one game you're a villain to the next game you're a hero. Ronaldo scored against Brighton last night, and I'm sure everyone's going, it's Ronaldo, but a week ago, we had a lot of people saying it's Cavani. So let's break it down. Let's look at the key factors and a lot more in relation to Cavani against Ronaldo and who is the better option for Manchester United at number 9. And look, for me, Ronaldo's a better player than Cavani, but being a better player doesn't mean that you're a better fit for a football team. We know that. And also, you can have decline, consistency. It all falls into the same thing. So look, we're comparing two strikers here. So let's start off with goals per game. 14 for Ronaldo. And 2, this is not goals per game, this is goals overall this season, taking into account FA Cup, Premier League, Champions League. Ronaldo's got 14 goals. In fact, it's 15 now. I don't think the Brighton goal's on there. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I think it's 15 now. But it's definitely 2 for Cavani. And I think as well, what's important to add into this is that, yes, games played is going to be really important. And I actually think that that's a factor. I think goals, assists and games played is probably 3 of the big things that you look at when you're looking at a number 9. So goals, Ronaldo's blasting him. Obviously, he's got 15 to Cavani's 2. Assists, Cavani's got 2 and Ronaldo's got 3. So, you know, but games played, basically, I think Cavani's around 15 and Ronaldo's about 30. So you can spin that one of 2 ways. You can say, well, if Cavani played the same amount of games, he'd have more goals. But Cavani's played half the games that Ronaldo's played. He's not scored half the goals. Even if you double his goals up, even if you times his goals by 5, he's still behind Ronaldo by 5 goals. So, you know, Cavani hasn't delivered in the games that he's played. He's played a lot of those graveyard shifts like Ronaldo has, but Ronaldo has scored the goals. And I think what you have to take into account as well is this is not because Cavani's been dropped for Ronaldo. There has been a few games like that. The vast majority reason as to why Cavani's not played as many games as Ronaldo is because of injury, which you have to take into account. If a player's injured and a player's fit, the players that's fit is going to be more valuable to you. Also, delving into the goals thing a little bit more, just a little bit extra on this. Goals per 90, 0.62 goals per 90 minutes for Ronaldo this year. 0.28 goals per 90 minutes for Cavani. And I think that's an important stat to bring in because we can talk about overall goals, but that takes into account how many goals per game they're expected to get. You know it's going to be bigger than with Ronaldo because he scored more goals, but that is a better stat in relation to games against goals. So yes, Cavani's played half the games, but even in that, he's only averaging about 0.3 goals per game, whereas Ronaldo is a lot higher at 0.6 goals per game. So Ronaldo is the better goal scorer, and he's the better goal scorer this season. It's as simple as that. The next stat I want to look at is shots per game, because I think this is interesting because, again, you could go back to the previous stat and say, well, if Cavani was getting 4 shots per game, he'd have the same as what Ronaldo's getting, so he'd probably have more goals. But again, it wouldn't compensate for the 2 to 14 or 15 that Ronaldo's got now, if you know what I mean. Yes, Cavani's getting less shots on goal. Even if he had 4 shots per game, like Ronaldo, he wouldn't have 15 goals. It just wouldn't make up that gap between 2 and 15. But why is Cavani getting less shots per game than Ronaldo? Well, I think Ronaldo has a better shot than Cavani outside the box. And I think we've seen Ronaldo at times this season be a bit desperate. And he will shoot from outside the box. Whereas Cavani has scored some good goals outside the box, but isn't that sort of a striker. So I think that would explain it as well. Also, is it simply that Ronaldo's got better movement in the box? He's getting more of the ball in the box. There's lots of reasons behind it. I think 4 shots per game is misleading. These are not chances in the box. And I think it comes down to the fact that Ronaldo is probably shooting from angles that Cavani wouldn't. I think it comes down to that. Simply, I don't think it's to do with the fact that Ronaldo's moving around the box more than Cavani. I think they're both very good at that, and they probably don't get as much service as they should. I think 2 shots per game is poor for someone like Cavani, and I think that reflects on the team and the midfield around him in relation to creativity. He should be getting more than 2 shots per game. I think Ronaldo's is higher because he will shoot out of desperation. He will shoot from angles that he probably shouldn't do. So, yeah, I think that probably explains that one quite well. Stat 3 we're going to look at is successful attacking actions, and this is big This is a big stat. And what is a successful attacking action? Well, effectively, it's something in the final third of the game that means that you do something successful, whether it's dribble, get a shot off, play a pass to somebody else, maybe, create a chance for somebody else. That's what a successful attacking action is. And Ronaldo is, it's not just dribbling. It's creativity, it's feeding others, it's key passes, it's the whole package. And Ronaldo is the whole package on there. 4.1 attacking actions per game, with Cavani at 1.2. I mean, I'm actually quite surprised as to how underperforming Cavani is this year, because I'm a fan of Cavani, as I think we all are, but these are a collection of stats that take into account the whole range of being a number 9. It's not just about goals, it's not just about assists, which Ronaldo is winning anyway, but successful attacking actions. This is build-up play. This is holding the ball up and feeding it to somebody else. This is carrying the ball forward. This is Ronaldo's. This is where I think Cavani should be performing better, and unfortunately for him, he isn't. So Ronaldo wins that one as well. Loss index. Now this, I like this. I do like this stat. It's a very technical stat, but I do like it. So how do you get a loss index? And, we're sort of wandering into XG and pressing stats here, which, they're not perfect. They're not perfect. It's not like, an assist or a goal where you can see what it's all about. But even a goal's not a goal, is it? I mean, you can skip past 4 players and put it in the top corner. That's the same as tapping it in from 2 yards and deflecting it off the referee's ass. A goal has... Nothing in football is completely pure. There's always mitigation, I suppose. But what I would say about this is that I like the loss index, because as a number 9, this is about it's about how many times you've lost the ball divided by how many successful attacking options you've had. So if you had I did write this down. So if you've lost the ball 10 times, but you've had 2 successful attacking actions, 10 divided by 2 is 5. If you've lost the ball 10 times, but you've had 10 successful actions, your divided by 10 by 10 is 1. So the lower the score you get in the loss index, the better you are. So some people might be saying, oh, Cavani's won, but it's not, because you're dividing losses by successful attacking actions. So Ronaldo's won that. He's losing the ball less compared to how many positive things he's doing to Cavani, which is interesting, because a lot of people think that Ronaldo loses the ball a lot, but his loss index is, it's nearly 3 times better than Cavani's. So, Cavani's not delivering and he's losing the ball more. So that's another really interesting thing, because I think Ronaldo is seen as this player that's about goals, which he is. And, you put up with, maybe he loses the ball a lot, but he scores a lot of goals. But again, it's an area where you'd think Cavani's loss index is going to be better than Ronaldo's, that his successful attacking actions, whether it's passing, shooting, holding the ball up, dribbling the ball, you'd think Cavani's going to be strong at that and he's going to keep hold of the ball better. But actually Ronaldo has trounced him in that one, and he's got the lower loss index score, which gives him the win there as well. So again, Ronaldo, not about goals, but about overall number 9 play, is beating Cavani. I think it's an eye-opener, really. Offensive duels won. Again, interesting, because you think about Cavani puts himself about, which he does, and offensive duels won are winning your physical duels in the attack. We're not talking about defensive duels here. We'll talk about those on the next one. But Ronaldo delivering again in relation to that area, that it's closer. It is closer, but Ronaldo winning the offensive duels. And we shouldn't be surprised about that. I mean, Ronaldo, I think, from corners, defensive corners, is a real asset because he's very good in the air. So again, I think it's something that maybe people are not looking at with Ronaldo, even in our own fan base. I think they're always going to get ignorance from rival fans because they're not interested in what Ronaldo's hold-up play is or how he fights with the centre-back. They're going to go, he hasn't scored in 10 games. But there is a wider story to being a number 9, and I think it's a story that Ronaldo this season, whilst not being perfect, is really important. I just want to go back. I knew there's something I'd missed. Shots per game or goals or anything like that. Very interesting to say that both strikers are pretty much the same in their shots on target. They're about 40% of their shots on target for both of them. So they're both pretty equal on that. And on their defensive duels one, I was going to bring that in. So offensive duels would be in the final third again when you're fighting with the centre-back in the attack. Ronaldo wins 39% to 34%. Defensive duels, they're both 57%. So they're both pretty equal on their defensive output duels as well. And then finally, we're going to bring in the stat around successful defensive actions. And yes, Cavani finally wins one. And this does not surprise me because I think one of the things... And look, I'd love this video or thing to be shown to the so-called professional analysts and ex-players, etc., who say that Ronaldo is the problem, because this is the problem with football. I think a lot of the analysts a lot of the punditry that we get, both in match commentary and at half-time and at full-time, yes, they're very good footballers, but I don't think their in-depth knowledge of the modern game is that good. And I think that's where you get things like Ronaldo is United's problem. Ronaldo's lack of pressing is United's problem. It was never the problem. It was just something that was promoted by people who don't really watch a game of football and want to, make United's failure about something that it's not. Cavani beats Ronaldo on successful defensive actions because I guarantee you he covers more distance and he runs around and he presses better. 100%. You can see that there. He's got 3.8 to Ronaldo's 2. But in duels won, offensively in the final third, Ronaldo wins. In defensive duels won, they're equal. In successful defensive actions, Ronaldo wins by quite a lot. In loss index, giving the ball away compared to those actions, Ronaldo wins again. In shots per game, Ronaldo wins. In goals, Ronaldo wins. As an overall number 9, Ronaldo wins. And the only thing you've got in the favour of Cavani, or to these people that say Ronaldo's the problem and we're a better team with Cavani in it, the only thing you've got is Cavani runs around more and does more defensive work as a number 9. Are we Norwich or are we trying to be Liverpool? And what I mean by that is Ronaldo does do a lot of the good things that you want somebody to do as a number 9. He's winning a lot of duels. He's not giving the ball away. And he's scoring goals. But he's the problem because he doesn't run around and do a lot of defensive work like Cavani does. But he's a striker. And this is what I mean. You end up with these headlines that we had back in the autumn. Ronaldo doesn't press. He's the problem. The problem is the press who are putting that nonsense out there, who don't look at things like we've looked at there. Cavani's a very good striker. I don't think we'll miss him next season. And I think those things pretty much prove we won't move him next season. But the biggest thing is he's injury prone. I like Cavani. We love the song. But this season, you can see it there and you can see it with your own eyes. Has he stayed on a season too long? I hope in the final weeks and months of the season Cavani can get back and score us some big goals. And a player like that is always valuable to have. But the fact that there even had to be a Ronaldo versus Cavani debate, and let's take away the goal last night against Brighton, the only thing it changes on there is that goal is, instead of being 14, it's 15. That just adds a goal on. All those stats will still be the same. And yet, because he didn't score that goal, and we drew 0-0 with Brighton, people would say, he's crap, he's the problem. He's far from the problem, and he's far the winner in the battle between Cavani and Ronaldo this season. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Obviously, we had the 2 hoodies out there. I feel it would only be right of me to pull out the winner. It's time to dance. Do-do-do, clap your hands, clap your hands. Ronaldo wins. But if you want to get either of the hoodies, the link's in the video description. We do ship worldwide. Well done to Ronaldo. And please smash a like on the video if you like this new type of content we're doing. I've got loads of ideas of who we're going to do. And I pretty much know who I'm going to do next. Get in the chat if you think you can guess. But get your thoughts in below. Lots to digest, I know. And I'll speak to you soon. Remember, TUFC on Twitch will be live this afternoon at 3 o'clock if you want to check out for that. Take care, everyone. I'll speak to you on the next one.